Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, and you join me on the finale of my look back at Tropico. On the 20th anniversary of its release, we are into the last 10 years, the final decade of Charles J. Haughey's reign as Ree of An Blascaod Nua. We've had some trouble keeping power of recent. It'll be interesting to see how the last decade goes, and it's fitting that we take a look at somebody who's been there since the very beginning. Raphael O'Kineda. At 50 years of age, he would have been just 10 when he and his family evacuated the Blasket Islands and came to the Caribbean to start life anew. And when he arrived on the Blaskets, his family would have settled in this region, in the shadows of the presidential palace. When he was old enough, Raphael would have begun working in this corn farm, where he has worked all his life. Farmer is the only job he has ever held, and he is a master of the craft. He would have learned the techniques that were used on the Blasket Islands to pry as much food out of the ground as possible on the rocky climate of the Blasket Islands. He would have learned that from his father, and he would have applied those skills here to great effect. Eventually his family were able to convince him to move out of the bunkhouses that they would have probably lived in day one. He now lives in this nice apartment complex. Here he would have raised two daughters, who now have children of their own. So he's had quite a stable life, living pretty much in this tiny region. Everything he wanted provided for him. There's the pub. He could take whatever food he needed home with him. There is the clinic. His wife works in either the diplomatic ministry or the immigration office, so possibly they would have met at that very pub. Every once in a while, of course, he takes the long journey over to the church, and his children, that's not exactly the longest of journeys, and his children would have gone to, one of his children is a factory worker, so she would have gone to school way over in this direction. But in general, he's had a relatively comfortable life in this region. He's not a very well educated man, but that doesn't mean that he's stupid. Absolutely not. He has eyes, he has ears, and he sees and hears things from the direction of the presidential palace, working and living in its shadow, working closer than most other people. He sees the lights on late at night, as Haughey and his advisors desperately try to cling to power, and he hears the rumbles of discontentment from amongst the army that worked there. He would have grown up with Tomás O'Crihan's father, and he'd know O'Crihan, or he'd know Tomás, who's now being lauded as a hero after putting down the insurgency against Haughey's reign, the coffee plantation insurgency. But Raphael would know that while O'Crihan is being lauded as a hero, that he also harbours ambitions of ruling himself. Now, it's unlikely that O'Crihan's position in the army would grant him a route to power democratically. But if Haughey's desperate bids to retain power were to grow, if he was to start maybe collaborating with the Russians in a desperate effort to hold on for another 10 years, then possibly that would allow Tomás O'Crihan an opportunity to argue that he is acting in the best interests of the state and unleash blood on the streets of An Blascaod Nua. So even though we have seen great economic progress over the decades, that progress has stagnated. That has meant that we haven't been able to improve the lives of our people as much. And now, there is worry as to what the last 10 years, the people know that Haughey intends to hold on for another 10 years, but what will Tropico be like after that? And indeed, can Haughey peacefully hold on to power for the next 10 years? So those are the questions that are being asked at the moment on our absolutely fantastic... It looks great. I'm a bit disappointed that we're not getting everything that we wanted built. But let's hope. Let's hope that nothing... Let's hope we've no invasions. Let's hope we have no coups. Let's hope we have no rebel insurgency. Let's most certainly hope that we've no flag burnings and that we have no hurricanes. Yeah, let's start her up.
Tropico has been under your enlightened rule for 40 years. Truly, your presence has been felt by generations of Tropicans.
And what a 40 years it's been. What a 40 years it's been. We can see people running through the streets burning Tropican tricolours. The Tropican tricolour is on this side. It's a tricolour that's fallen over. It's an Irish tricolour that's fallen over. Green, white and orange with a bit of a triangle and who knows what on it. The religious faction is given out to us. Not even listening to him. So, there we see one again at the back of the palace, or the back of the diplomat's office. Or the front of the diplomat's office. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure which one's the front and which one's the back. So yeah, let's see what we can achieve over our last period in time. They're beginning to build a second church. I don't think we have a lot of jobs that require educations. Hopefully somebody's going to take that other job. Just in case we ever need to arrest Tommaso Crichton. Or... oh god. As you know, Your Excellency, we live on Hurricane Alley. I have just been informed that Hurricane Kate will strike our island. Take cover. If this is bad, it could be the end of Haughey. So we get pulled out, it plays a little animation. Oh, that doesn't look great. Oh dear. Now I will say, first and foremost, I've seen worse. We were just talking about the poor man. He's been driven out of this region, and he's been forced up here to find new work. Oh god, I don't know what to say about that. Because another thing, and this is going to be awkward for poor Raphael. He would have spent his entire life growing food. Now he's going out to grow tobacco. But he would have noticed as well with the corn farm that there's more food leaving than there is coming in. There's more food leaving the farm than is being pulled out of the ground. Again, part of Haughey's desperate bid to retain power. Where we doubled the food rations of everybody. I think every food producing plant has been destroyed. This is now the only thing on the island supplying food for a population of 230 people. And that place. Oh Lord Almighty. Oh, these hurricanes are absolutely devastating. I don't know what to say. sometimes hurricanes are great. Sometimes they're fantastic because they clear away buildings that were put down. I think these 3 buildings were put down day 1, and they clear them away. Now look what we can do. We can finally build our road. Oh dear God. Oh, the prison's gone. The prison is gone. The prison... Oh. God, right, the prison is gone. The houses are gone. Oh, El Presidente's thingamajig is gone. The marketplaces are gone. So we're going to get a pop-up in a minute. Why am I putting down marketplaces? There's nothing to take to them. We're going to get a pop-up in a minute that we've been given compensation. Oh dear God, I hope it's a lot. I hope it's a lot, to say the very least. Oh, you absolute devils. Things were going so good. That's now effectively the end of the game. That's the game over. Holding power for the next 10 years is pretty much all we can do at this stage now. There'll be no more economic growth or expansion. We'll put it there. Any hopes of a pineapple farm? Please. There. Is there any point putting things out that far anymore? There's definitely no point putting replacing the coffee farm. That's gone. It's gone for good. Oh, the banana farm. I think bananas take a really long time to grow as well. I'm not too sure about papaya. God damn it, they took everything. Oh Lord, look what they've done over here. Look what the oh, this is a calamity.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
Of course, the streets are just littered in dead bodies and flattened buildings.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
Pablo O'Shea, 10 years of age.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
Claudio Herrera, 8 years of age.
Hola.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
And Pedro Valdez. What was he leader of? Was it the intellectual faction? He took over from Peg Sayers and has died of a stroke. Not as a result of
Rest in peace, muchacho.
the natural
Rest
disaster.
In peace, muchacho.
What way is the palace? There's Egberto O'Crihan. I don't know, has his brother left? Or did his brother die? Thomas O'Crihan. Oh, lads. Okay. Okay. Okay, we need this prison built. We need this prison built. That's the first thing. We need that pineapple plantation built. We need that corn farm built. We need the papaya grove built. And the fisherman's wharf. We need to try and start restoring food. I think we'll have to, I don't want to, but we'll have to end food for the people. That's going to make a lot of people unhappy. I think seems as though people are working on that already. Yeah, that apartment complex can stay there. What, that's nearly built. There's might as well. That one down to nothing. The marketplaces down to nothing. There's a lot of houses along here that we should try and replace. Oh, God, they took out this entire region. What I will do, very quickly, special building permit.
Right away, Excellency.
You know what they say. It's a bad wind that doesn't blow well for someone. Too soon. Too soon. Dead bodies of children lying in the streets. Was it too soon? Maybe it was a bit too soon. Of course, with all the bunkhouses gone, we can replace them with nicer houses. Let's actually get rid of that one and see if we don't have the money. We might in a second. We might in a second. So I've put all that stuff down. I've almost crippled myself economy-wise. The only thing that we can be very glad of is that one of our coffee plantations survived and 2 tobacco farms, even though that one has practically nothing in it. We're at least going to see those buildings continue to supply produce to these 2 buildings. I have seen times where like all of my coffee, every farm would be destroyed, so there's nothing going to the factories. And the other major thing is that the dock survived. If the dock goes, you're in a lot of trouble. When people start starving or when people are unhappy, they can leave. But if the dock went, we were in trouble. 30,000. Okay, not the worst. And the first thing that we build is a church. The population has dropped from 275 to 239. About 36 people killed. There's our death toll. Our new church is open, so we'd better hire a priest, because nobody else will go and work there. Oh, lads. Look, out burning flags again. There's another
Rest in peace,
poor dock worker, or a teamster. Happiness hasn't dropped yet because they haven't realised that all the houses have collapsed. It usually takes a year or 2. Ah, things were going so well. Things were going so well. And the worst thing is that a lot of the construction workers will actually prioritise clearing the rubble before actually doing any work. I'm not rebuilding those houses. That's basically abandoned. That's gone. Yeah, they're going way off. Clearing out more stuff instead of building the things that I need them to build. Coffee and coffee products has decreased. Yay! I'd say we're a year out from an election. Okay, somebody's working on a house. That's okay. Somebody did a small bit of work on a house. Okay. There is Raffaello Pineda, who we looked at in the first episode, or at the start of today. His children, Diana and Pia. A new prison has been built. Because it's entirely possible that that we're going to have to block elections. And if we block elections, it's possible that the army will turn on us. Happiness is plummeting as the housing quality goes down. Nothing coming in the economy. we should see people flooding to take up jobs in high school educated positions. Rumors of a coup. Egberto O'Crihan is still there. Orlando and Felipe Simpatico. So now the Simpatico family is becoming staunchly militarist. Yeah, the poor job we've done. We did a great job of providing houses. Don't you dare blame this on me. He's got a nice house. He's got a nice house. He's got a fantastic house. I don't know what he's complaining about. Ooh, certain treacherous soldiers have begun a coup d'etat against your regime. We can only hope that enough soldiers will stay loyal to fight off the traitors. A military coup has broken out against Haughey's regime. I think if we check here, I think I'll join a military coup against the regime. And here we can see proud adherents of the collapsed tricolour. There's Egberto O'Crihan running to engage with the traitor. He's made a bad mistake. I'd swear it's his first day on the job as well. Oh, that doesn't look good. Egberto O'Crihan has died for Tropico. I have no idea how it determines who does and doesn't get shot, but generally if somebody's shooting and somebody else is running in front of them, it's bad. I am pleased to report that the coup has been crushed. But again, look at the cost. Look at the cost.
Rest in peace, muchacho.
That's strange. His clothing has changed to that of a rebel. Poor owl. Again, we'll put down... I want that to remember, what's his name? Egberto. Put down a native Irish palm tree. So in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, we're building monuments to, did the monument up here survive? It didn't. I'm right in saying there was a statue up here, wasn't there? To, where Egberto's brother beat off a rebel. There you go. Now the two of them are dead. Given their lives for Tropico, we're seeing people coming in. We could actually switch to a military education. Extra military history courses tilt the students towards pro-military views, but slow down the rate of education. Now this would make everyone that goes through education more likely to become a part of the militarist faction, which is cool with us at the moment. So I think we'll leave it on general education. A hurricane. What was the list of stuff that I said at the start? A rebellion, an insurrection, a coup, and a hurricane. We got a hurricane, and then we got a coup. Gonna be an election in a minute. Well, there was one guy who would have voted against us dead anyway, so... That's the worst thing, is people in shacks getting important positions in the government.
Presidente, your people starve.
I know.
No more food, quickly.
I know. Nobody... I won't say nobody's building anything. But nobody's building anything. Happiness has actually remained stable, which is surprising. Food quality. So meals produced has absolutely collapsed. It's picking up a small bit. Meals eaten has remained quite high. People are starting to skip meals, and of course the government's meal reserves have collapsed. People's personal meal reserves aren't too bad for now. So hopefully they'll have enough to take them through before some of these farms are up and running. Oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, my score, my beautiful score. Look what they've done to my beautiful score. If we put down... Oh, I don't know if you saw there, we're getting some rebels. And the rebels are going to start to attack buildings on the outskirts. Inishvikalon, Uncrow Moor, areas of low government control. We have a full army.
Presidente, I believe some of your people may be calling for an election next year.
Oh God, don't say it. Oh my God, can we allow an election? Here's just a random event. Somebody is made off with 4 grand. At a very bad time. At a very bad time. We have nothing. We have nothing to export. We should arrest that old man and put him working in the prison. At least somebody's having fun. We'll make sure that we're getting paid anyway. The environmentalists are complaining.
The people, they suffer for lack of medical treatment.
We have an attack on a Teamster's office. That's audacious. The devils are going after the island's logistics. They usually attack farms. So let's see if we can get the army. No, they're not going for this one, are they? It looks like it. This is where the army is all heading for. So the insurgency is attempting another strike at Uncrow Moor. They already attacked a coffee plantation. Fado. I think we should have the army in place. I think we should be A-okay. But our problem is if we lose any members of the army. And especially if we lose members of the army who are happy, if they're living in nice apartments. There he is, emerging from the shadows. Ulvado Ramirez. A labourer and a rebel. So you can see that, like, rebel is a job. And if he had very high skills and these were low-skilled soldiers, we could be in a lot of trouble. I'm confident enough. I'm confident... There you go. I'm confident he's met his end. I didn't even get to see who shot him. Many people are complaining that there has been no election. What I want to do is I want to check if we have anything to export. If we don't, and we can't declare a tax cut, I'm afraid to say that for the last 6 years of our life, or our regime, it could be the last 6 years of our life if this decision goes badly, there is no point in allowing elections or holding elections in a period of national emergency such as we are facing at the moment. My people love me. There is no need to waste time with elections. The expectations for free elections were very high, so the people are truly shocked at this decision, because they now feel that they can't express their discontent through free elections. They are quite likely to start an uprising, a coup, or a rebellion. Step carefully. And again, the soldiers have beaten off the rebels. We will put down a statue to represent. It'll probably never be built. We will come across to this colonial fort. We will build a dungeon down to our presidential palace, and we will set the wages of the army. I'm certain these are going to be army officers as well. We'll see who gets those jobs. I'm almost certain it's army. I hope it's army. And let's hope that... what's the other thing that we need to do? I knew there was one more thing. We come to politics. Relations with the United States is cordial. Positive impact on the capitalists. They'd prefer a proactive stance. They're happy to see that we achieved power in elections. Let's see what they have to say at the end of the year. But there's more people arriving on the island. I don't know, is that good or bad? This housing complex has been built. We're just about to build another housing complex. We've built a papaya grove. I don't think a lot of these will start producing food by the end of the year. Again, people are flooding into the buildings as soon as they are up and running. Happiness didn't take much of a fall. Liberty has been cut in half. Housing quality has gone up. Entertainment has gone up. Like I said, somebody's having fun below at the GPO. Democracy expectations high, satisfaction angry, relationship with the United States. They're shocked with our version of democracy. And we lost a lot of money. If they begin threatening us, we might have to do something. We have 5 years left. There will be one more call for an election. We are losing money hand over fist. I think I've said that a couple of times before. You see somebody protesting. We have no input stores. The economy has shrunk. It has shrunk substantially. should be seeing a lot more protesters around. What's... Ugh, respect for the leader isn't great. Respect isn't great. Respect is good. Respect isn't great. We see a lot of burning flags up and down the mountain. There's a priest protesting. So we're building tenements, we're getting people out of the shacks. Nobody is prepared to consider the plight and the difficulty that I'm in. Everyone just thinking about themselves. I think we're going to be heavily dependent on our mines for the final few years. I think it's a bit late now, but we could very well have tried to build another mine. I'm going to cancel that special building permit. Happiness has dropped again a small bit. As long as we have 6,000. Ah, lads. Oh, well, there's a lot of unhappy people, that's right. I forgot about that. I think we're going to hold on to power with a minus figure. Which is about right for Haughey. Somebody wants a general. That's very true. Maybe nobody will just take a job over there. Again, as you can see, it's breaking my heart. Like, they're spending all their time clearing away the rubble. And none of their time actually building the buildings on land that is already leveled. But somebody built a statue. That's great. Somebody built that statue.
Our treasury is empty, and our debt grows day by day.
Yeah, it does that, doesn't it? Quite shortly, we're going to be in a scenario where the IMF is going to step in, and actually, we won't be. Never mind. Where the IMF steps in and takes a ton of money off of us, or it tells us we can't pay people over $20 anymore. Francois Van Gogh has passed away. There's no doubt that you are in imminent danger of a military coup by members of your armed forces.
Presidente, your people starve. Grow more food, quickly.
We have a police station, we have a prison. All we have to do is hang on to power for 4 years. Through any means necessary. Happiness is collapsing. Housing quality is going up. Where is food quality? You know what? That's not bad. All things considered. Look at our exports. Oh my god. Do you remember the 70s and 80s when we were an economic powerhouse? Cigars are still going out, bauxite is still going out. Canned pineapple should not be going out unless it's left over from the good old days. We have a lot of people protesting. Lads, is nobody going to load there's some goods on the ground. Is nobody going to load them onto a ship, no?
Rest in peace, muchacho.
Oh.
You are making quite a number of enemies, Presidente.
Can they not eat tobacco, no? Probably not. So we do have some goats, we do have some pineapple. With some corn. Have a cup of coffee. I do that a lot when I'm hungry. I have a cup of coffee. And then I just feel even more hungry. Look at this. Papaya has increased by 10%. Guys, what perfect timing. Just as we're about to get our megalithic papaya industry up and running. Well, that's brilliant timing. It's all smooth sailing from here. Literacy. Cancel. Social security. So again, we've been restricted to $20, which is what we're paying our guards in the palace. Nobody's taking a job over there. Maybe I made a mistake. The only people this affects is our doctors and the bankers. Happiness continues to fall. Entertainment quality has gone up a bit. Our negative treasury is generating... Remember that. Remember those years. Remember those years. What? Oh, lads, come on. Come on. There's 8.5 units of cigars. You divils, come on. Get them out the door, come on. And this is it now, is waiting. Waiting for a ship to come. And then praying that a dock worker will go and take it out. We could... It's a bit heartbreaking. That college isn't going to be built, and that's going to take a chunk of money out of my Swiss bank account. You know what? That church. Look at this. We're back in. It's like we. What debt? What? No. Tropico was never in debt. It was a accounting error. Tropico was never in debt. Of course, this puts more money into our Swiss bank account or into our economy for my bankers to put into my Swiss bank account, hopefully. So there is 16,000.
The island is disgusting, Presidente. Is there nothing that can be done for the environment?
Nope. Yeah. Our bankers. God damn it. Where the hell did they go? Who's going to slush my fund now? Oh, god damn them. I bet you they jumped as soon as things got bad. They jumped ship, the divils. Now, what is very important for me is that we have enough money, at least for a going away for Charlie Haughey. Haughey, again, is committed to the rebuilding of Tropico.
It will be done.
So, yeah, we got some tenements there for some people who could use a tenement. Did somebody say something about the about pollution? Oh my god, that's absolutely terrible. Somebody should do something about that by putting down very expensive fountains. Somebody should do something about that. By putting down overpriced fountains. I cancelled a load of buildings to get us out of debt, to put us straight back into debt. We've a second coup. The fact that there's 5 people indicates that yes, that dungeon over there is indeed stocking soldiers. We have a second coup in the 1990s against Haughey's reign. Where, Jesus, the flags of Tropico are flying to the palace. This is what happens. These are the only people who are benefiting from Haughey's regime. And the good thing is that it does indeed look as though, in the event of a coup, our army will back us. So I was right to do that. And where is he? There he is. The Devil, Bartholomew Eastwood. I remember that name popping up before. Something to do with his father. I remember your father. Now, where is he going? Because he should be going to the palace. There he is. He's going to the palace. And Orlando Simpatico, the new, like I said, the new military family, he's rushing out to take on the Devil and to fight for Haughey. September 1998. He's firing off bullets like a lunatic, and down he goes. And another threat to the regime has been dealt with. And another statue goes down. So I mean, oh god, this is absolutely atrocious. But government control is basically regions where the army is. And what we would have wanted to do, if we had no hurricane, was build our college, put down a general's post, then put down a guard tower. So a general and armory could have up to 3 generals, and you can put down 1 guard post per general. A guard station, and I think that has 3 in it. So it can be quite difficult to kind of get that far. But we have somehow managed to cling on. I'm confident that we will survive. Confident that we will survive. You know how confident I am. We're going to start arresting protesters in our final year. Is there anybody else burning the Tropican flag? We got a heap of people. What's going on here?
Rest in peace, muchacho.
We have an officer has died. There's a protest. There's a protest in the cabaret. Senoritas. Oh, boys. This led protesting.
Right away, Excellency.
We have to get all the protesters off the street.
It will be done.
Capture then I think is for those captured are thrown into the dungeon. This is a new one actually. If the captured person dies while in dungeon, his or her family's respect for you will plummet. However, with proper re-education, the inmate will be released back into society with a newfound respect for El Presidente. I should have done that. I have never seen that before, because when I had the original Tropico on disc, these buildings weren't part of it. This building wasn't there. There's one or two things with the, I think it's the Paradise Island expansion. Let's see if we can find any additional flag burners and throw them into the... There we go. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Right away, Excellency.
That's unfortunate. I never actually saw the animation. I should have watched the animation. Happiness is going up ever so slightly. Exports are going up ever so slightly. We're almost into a positive figure. We will declare a Mardi Gras for the final year of Haughey. Issue the edict. There will be a slight increase in crime. You have more protesters. And there you go. This is our beautiful island. in our final year, people have started to push out onto Croagh desperately searching for the gold reserves, the fabled gold reserves that possibly brought the settlers to the island in the first place. Maybe they heard tales of this island and the gold reserves that it contained. They landed, but we failed to reach them. We had to abandon our plans to build a mine after that blasted hurricane. And people have started to set up shacks, desperately searching for gold to eat, because there's no food. And they can't take it to the bank because there's nobody there. There's the abandoned ruins. Oh, I don't know what to say. I think we look at the eldest people on the island is probably the best place to see if we can find any members of the OG community. We have Faye O'Hineda, her husband Humberto O'Hineda. There's Rafael O'Hineda. Of course, we looked at him at the start of this episode. His grandson, Humberto Soto, has become a farmer. Didn't we see a Soto had died at some stage in this episode? We saw a lot of people dead in this episode. There's Faye, there's Humberto's family. Doesn't look like there's going to be any more Canedas from that branch of the family. Of course, it's not like CK3 where we can go back and see a ton of different people. I'm disappointed that we have no OG Irish represented in the defense of the palace. I don't think any of them are in the civil service. We have the O'Sullivoins, so they have survived, and that name is going to continue on for definite. There's Eastwood again, Simpatico, so you're beginning to see a handful of surnames appearing constantly. Interestingly enough, I don't think a single Irish person has ever served in the church. There you go. There's more O'Sullivoins. I think that's actually the husband of the O'Sullivoin that we saw there. Of course, only a doctor that we hired and called in. And the O'Sheas seem to have stayed in... Wasn't there an O'Shea a couple of episodes back? Am I right? Was it Enrique O'Shea? Enrique O'Shea, there he is. So he was the son of Bartholomew O'Shea. Both of them worked here at the dock in Dunquin, which is now abandoned. Briefly, Enrique worked over here, and Bartholomew, I think, worked... Oh yeah. Do you remember there used to be a wharf here? Oh yeah, we should... So he's after getting a job for his son, in the same construction plant that he and his wife work in, if I'm right. Oh no, so this is... Again, it's hard to kind of tell sometimes. So... Enrique's daughter has married a priest. Enrique's son is working... His son and daughter are working in the same construction places. And then his daughter has married to the Simpaticos, one of the heroes of the recent attempts to overthrow the government. And we see the O'Donovoin name continues on in as well. So the O'Sheas, the O'Sullivoins, and the O'Donovoins. And I don't think we're going to see many more on the O'Hinedas. So I think those are the four surviving names, it looks like, that have made it this far. Other than poor old Thomas O'Crihan, it looks like the entire O'Crihan family is gone. I don't see them anywhere. I know we haven't checked half the places, but yeah, it looks like the O'Crihans, unfortunately, are gone. Thomas and his brother Egberto or Eduardo, I can't remember, who defended the region here, and of course his brother was killed in one of the attempts to overthrow the government. We've just about managed to cling to power. I can't see us being deposed in the last few months. It's possible, it's possible. We have protesters running through the streets trying to, but they're being blocked by Teamsters. Okay, I tried to capture somebody, but we can't because there's nobody there anymore. Let's see how many... Bartolo! Bartolo! And your father! Bartolo. Your father will be having a word with you. Your father will be... You're lucky that the soldiers who ran the dungeon are dead, or you'd be going in there. Haughey will not tolerate any opposition to his rule in the last year of his reign. Haughey has managed to cling to power, a true survivor, an ultimate survivor. Lads, if half of you got off your arse and actually did some work, we'd be going great. Again, a man who cares passionately for his people. Those roads are never going to be built. We're going to put down more buildings, and look at that, we just managed to bring our score up by another 5 points. It is highly likely, though, that now the treasury will become negative, and we'll lose more points for that than we gained for having money in our Swiss bank account. But Charles Haughey, after 50 years in power, is going to leave with 13,000 in his Swiss bank account. It's not great. It's not great, but you know what? It's not the worst. We see a lot of people wandering around the island with things over their head. Somebody's running off to arrest somebody. The prison is filling up. We're almost into heavy debt again.
Presidente, I believe some of your people may be calling for an election next year.
They can call away. There'll be no one to oppose them. They're more than welcome. They are more than welcome. We thankfully have a dock worker to get some stuff off the island in the final few months of Charles Haughey's regime. They won't even let the man retire in peace. They want him gone. They want him gone. A third attack on the Teamsters office. We already have one general... I was saying that I was disappointed that nobody from the OG Irish was involved in the army. Well, here is Hippolyto O'Shea and his young family. 22 years of age. And he is ready to defend the Teamsters office. But as long as it takes the rebels to show up, it's entirely possible that they won't. There's 2 rebels now. And one of them is coming from this region. So we're into November. And he's stuck in the statue. He's stuck in the statue. It's Hippolyto's first day on the job, so we have 3 rebels. The leader of the militarist faction has voiced concern that our military is too weak to fight the rebels on the island. That's very true. It's December 1999. It's entirely possible that Haughey is going to board a helicopter to fly him off the island amidst a violent attempt to overthrow him. It is clear that there is not going to be a peaceful transfer of power. I think Haughey is just going to disappear and leave a vacuum into which more than likely the army will step. What little of an army exists, can they hold off against the rebellion? And already Hippolyto O'Shea is dead.
Presidente.
Gonzalo Garcepara? It's not a Blasket Island name anyway. He has the high ground. Don't do it, Orlando. He has the high ground. He's gonna be firing on the Teamsters office. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that that this doesn't make an ounce of a difference to us. I think is another soldier dead. Has he killed 2 soldiers? Oh my lord, he has indeed. If we had the money, I'd arrest his family.
Rest in peace, muchacho. Rest in peace, muchacho.
I don't know if he gets extra skills for shooting people. This guy should kill him. So down by our dock we can see that Charles Haughey is going to leave behind a booming economy. We can see goods, we can see produce ready to be exported off the island, and we got a very respectable 24 points. You know, it wasn't the very best. It could have been worse. If you take the money out of our Swiss bank account and put it into the treasury, we've done really, really well. $180,000 worth of buildings, minus 332 unhappy citizens. People on the island are so happy that we have minus 300. That's how you read that. That's what that says. There's minus 332 unhappy citizens on the island. This is a screen and this is numbers that I would be quite familiar with. Usually the happiness ends up in the scenario. I am desperately proud to have retained power after that humanitarian crisis, that catastrophe, Hurricane Kate, that wiped out pretty much everything and set us back. Everything was looking really good until then. Look at that, our soldiers down in the bottom right hand corner. I can't move the mouse to point at him, but he's so happy. It doesn't say dead defending the government from rebels. I wonder what will become of this island as it moves towards the release of Tropico in 2001. I think the army is down to 1 soldier, and the army is down to 1 soldier. There's 3 rebels. We have no money. If I was still playing on, what I would do is try and get the goods exported and then use that money to bring in soldiers. So I would frantically pay to hire soldiers, as many soldiers as possible. I think it would take another decade for the economy to recover from the hurricane. So the hurricanes are brutal, and that came from us having the option. Random events, I think, was rarely occur, is the option that we had picked, and this is the scenario that we got. So you can imagine if that had been pushed up a bit higher, we would have been getting a lot more random events. I'm just shocked. I'm just looking at this. Who the hell is the one happy person on this island? It's probably one of the rebels. They're just delighted they're doing so well. One happy citizen. Well, there you go. Think about it. If you can make one person's life better, haven't you done some good? Okay, you might have made 166 people unhappy to make that one person happy, but haven't you done some good? I think Haughey can truly say that he has done the island some service as he departs for retirement. There's going to be a little animation. It's going to tell us just how Charles Haughey's reign went, and I think I'll let it speak for itself. I'm hoping that it will show up. This has been tremendous fun. This has been great fun. It's been a great little story. We've got to see a colony, start from scratch. 30 people grew to 240. They had some good times, they had some bad times. I actually forgot. Can I? No, I can't. I thought I could go down through. Oh, quickly cover that. I thought I could go down through all the achievements, and see what way things stood at the end. But they've had some good times. They've had some bad times. They've had a lot of bad times, and yeah, I'm really proud of what we achieved here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this series as I looked back over, or as I tried to figure out where the last 20 years of my life went. It's been great to return to this game, and yeah, I'm probably gonna just continue playing this in my free time. Return to this every once in a while. Create some new rulers. Like I said, think about what kind of character would you create for Charlie Haughey, what kind of character would you create for Eamon de Valera, Michael Collins, Owen O'Duffy. That might be an interesting playthrough. Thank you all very much for joining me on this series. Let's see what the game has to say about Charlie Haughey, and I will talk to you again all in future.
Viva Presidente! Step forward and bask in the warmth that your people show you. With the money that the people of Tropico have made during your reign, the capitalists are dancing with joy. They sing your praise, my President. Furthermore, you succeeded despite the backstabbing military which finds your mere existence offensive. However, your success has put these dogs in their place. Industry thrives at the heart of Tropico's economy. Your understanding of world trade has made you many friends here and abroad. Presidente, you've tucked away a tidy sum of cash in your Swiss bank account and will have moderate means for your retirement. Presidente, despite your sometimes ruthless nature and cruel efficiency, the people as a whole have accepted your leadership. You do not tolerate disobedience or public unrest, and this has allowed Tropico to gain some measure of success amongst the countries of the world. Don't let their low happiness confuse you. The people's respect for you is genuine. Take a bow for them, my President.